Welcome back, everybody. Back to the Keystone Keys Podcast. Today we have a special guest in studio, but before we get to him, I got to introduce the partners. In studio today, we have Lindsay Weber, principal broker and owner of Keystone Mortgage Solutions. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for sitting in. We have Tyler Hardigan and Reagan Weiss checking in on the road. They're somewhere down in the Everglades City, I think.
We're in Sarasota, my friend.
Sarasota, Everglades,
wrestling.
it's all the same.
So yeah, we were just talking about the frolicking music, and I'm just picturing both of you on Sanibel frolicking down the beach, listening to our intro music.
That's hot.
Weirdo. But hey, Reagan and Tyler are on the feed today. In studio today we have Cesar Rodriguez. Everybody knows him as the Rooftop Killer, right?
That is me.
Thanks for coming in. Cesar works for Suncoast Roofing and Solar. So we're going to be talking about everything in the world of roofing and solar. Before we get started, though, I'm going to ask Reagan a real quick question. Yeah. What are you guys doing down in Sarasota?
The Collaboratory number 2.
Oh, sweet, bro. Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
We met with some individuals down here that have been very intrigued by what the hub has been doing up in our neck of the woods.
Yep.
And they said, how can we do that down here? So we went down there today, talked about numbers, talked about licensing. We looked at the space, and looks like it's a go. So we'll talk about it soon. Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you're saying I'll have a pit stop for Venmo snacks when I'm driving south? That's what I heard.
This one's gonna be a little bit better than the one we have, my friend.
Just make sure you have his favorite snacks.
Yeah, that's all we're worried about. Road snacks.
Yep. Thank you for that, though.
Yeah, man.
What's up, Cesar? It's good to see you as always.
Always a pleasure to speak with you, sir.
Can you see him? Can you see him now?
It's okay.
I can see you because I've got the computer in front of me here.
They don't need to see me.
I'll let you guys wave to Cesar. Here you go.
They don't need to see me. They just need to hear us. He just needs to hear the voice. I'm so close to you, Cesar. I promise.
Hey, so go on your feed and share the podcast real quick if you can.
Yes, sir.
Please.
We'll do it right now.
Pretty please.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so today, man, I've got some like investigative journaling type questions. The hard hitting, like those questions that people are scared to ask because they might not like the answer. You know what I mean?
You're on the spot.
So I don't know. Are you guys ready? Cesar, are you ready?
Do it.
I just want to make sure everyone knows he has a piece of paper.
I do.
They're all written down in crayon.
How many times do I write my questions in crayon?
Arts and crafts.
Specifically
So first
for
question.
me.
Hey, bro, listen. First question. Cesar, do you even lift, bro? I mean, Jesus. You should see this guy.
There's really big shoes to fill living in the shadow of Reagan. He's
an 11 and a half.
A man of serious stature, and I'm just trying to live up to that. I look up to the guy, and I try to lift hard and be studly like Reagan.
Yeah, he sets the standard high for all the rest of us, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He does the beard really well too.
Thank you. Enough. Thank you.
He's not gonna be able to get out of the truck.
Enough. I honestly, Cesar is the one I look up to in regards to fitness because look what this guy
he's
has
been
become
grinding for years, hasn't he?
Specimen. Yeah, he's a specimen. He's a specimen. Yeah. And Chris, I just look up to you because
Are
you're
you
so
doing the
handsome.
competition this year?
I am doing the competition this year.
Which one
see.
is it? CalStrong?
CalStrong.
Nice.
Yep, it's in May, right? May 20th, if I'm not mistaken.
Are we
off the
gonna
top
be
of
there?
my head. We're a sponsor. Yep.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Let's name
I'm
drop.
cheering for you.
BCMF.
Yeah,
Cal Strong Summer Smash.
Yep, Maria Callahan over at BCMF. She runs that fitness program, one of the best fitness programs in the entire area. And she puts on a phenomenal event. Multiple businesses come in. Everybody sends in representatives, and it's like a CrossFit. It's like that Reebok CrossFit Championship, but locally done.
She talked me into doing it last year. So last year I was 45, the first time I ever did any kind of a workout competition style thing.
Yeah, I got that out of my system a few years ago.
Well, I saw the old pictures of you and Raven used to do
God.
some wild
Yeah.
mud runs and biking and triathlons.
We were at the gym every morning, 5 o'clock.
That must be
Like
Maria's
clockwork.
thing to make sure that everybody has like a life-changing competition.
Well,
It was
so-
many years ago, but I did one. It was absolutely life-changing for
Yeah.
me.
So she talked me into doing it. I had no expectation
Right.
of how I would do. And my partner and I ended up coming in second
Nice.
in the men's advanced class. And I was like, man,
Yeah, you guys killed
that's
it.
amazing. Who got first? And it's a gym owner that has set multiple state records in some of the events. And I was like, oh, I am
What a
completely,
cheater.
I am completely
Right.
comfortable coming in second to that guy.
Freaking ringer coming in. You know, what's that about?
He'll
That
be
guy
there
guys
this
killed
year.
it. I'll never forget. It was a great event last year, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's a really
this
good time.
year. Mhm.
I almost died, but it was a really good time.
Everybody almost dies every day at Maria's boot camp.
It's
So
good
what-
though.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. Good friends, you know. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, Cesar, about the roofing industry is, we're hearing all this stuff about solar, renewable energy, right? So what are you seeing as far as not necessarily from like the legal standpoint and from DC or from Tallahassee, like what are you seeing as like the trend that everybody jumping on that? Is it gaining momentum? Because I feel like it's been around a really long time and you see a house here and there with solar panels, but
Like off the grid type of.
not necessarily that extreme, but
So
You know.
the reality of it is the state of Florida, the Sunshine State, hasn't caught up to some of the other areas in the country as far as what the rebates are,
okay.
what the state offers as sort of a kickback for going solar. So we're a little bit behind the curve here, where, say, in Massachusetts, you can get 75% of your cost
Oh, wow.
offset through rebates, tax credits, stuff from the state. So it makes it very affordable for
Right.
and it's an easy decision for somebody. In Florida, you're getting roughly 30% back as a tax credit. So it's a little bit more difficult of a decision
Yeah, for sure.
when you're talking about $40,000, $50,000 worth of panels on your roof.
So let me ask you, like that addition, that 70% that you're coming out of pocket for, what's the return on investment time frame as far as like how long would it take on average for somebody to recoup that money? Are we looking like 20 years, 30, like the life
So
of a
it's-
mortgage?
It's a per case basis,
Right.
because we're trying to offset a number.
Right.
So if you have a $300 electric bill and that's your peak bill in July and August, and that's what we're offsetting,
Mhm.
then the rest of the year, you're kicking money back to the grid. So you get a check back for that.
Okay.
So the return on investment is, are we getting our money back in 15 years?
Right.
Are we getting our money back? It depends on what your electric bill is and how
Right.
much you're saving per month. Most people prefer to finance these things and not pay out of pocket, because if I'm putting $40,000 out of my pocket,
Yeah.
then
That's a
then
chunk of
I'm
change. A lot of
waiting a
people can't
long
afford
time.
it.
So
Right.
they'll pay $125 a month on it and wipe out these $300 to $400 electric bills.
Mhm.
So the ROI is longer, but because of the interest that they're paying on it, but they're seeing the benefits immediately.
Right.
And it's completely static. It's set. So even if the energy cost goes up and one of Duke Energy raises the rates, it doesn't affect you because you're paying
Oh, wow.
you're paying a finance rate. So yours stays the same, and in year 20, that electric bill might have doubled by
Right.
then, but you're still paying the same thing. So
Right.
it makes sense from a finance point. Then you have your higher end customers, and all they want to know is show me on paper
Right.
when I'll get my $40,000 back.
Right.
If it's a high energy usage
So,
house,
yes,
sometimes
that's how I
that's 10 to 15 years sometimes on a high energy usage house. It is a long time if you're trying to offset a $200 bill.
Right.
It's just, that's why I say it's case by case. When I talk to my customers, I give them the pros and the cons, and this is what it's going to do for you. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. If you're bleeding energy, then it typically makes sense.
Right. So, like, out of everything you just said, what makes sense to me is Duke Energy will always raise the cost of energy.
Long term.
They're never going to go, oh, hey, energy's
we
cheaper
lowered
this
it
year.
week, yeah.
They're never going to say that ever.
Well, you
So-
guys are in finance, so you
Mhm.
understand. Once I'm locked into that loan, That's what I'm paying.
Yeah, that's
So it
actually a
doesn't matter what
fantastic
goes
selling
up.
point for
Right.
it. Absolutely.
Cool.
Oh, they dropped signal. Those two geeks. I think they were going into Chick-fil-A or something.
It's
Or-
likely. It's
yeah.
likely.
Yeah, they feed each other chicken sandwiches. It's funny to watch.
I don't want to see that.
So, sustainable roof or sustainable energy and all that. Is there anything else besides those solar roofs that you guys are seeing? Is there any new product coming out?
So we just got the GAF's solar shingles. The solar shingles are Florida product approval. They are set. They're Miami date approved. It means they're hurricane rated, and they're installed just like regular shingles.
But they're solar cells.
Wow.
But they're solar cells.
Wow.
I didn't
This
know that.
is
I didn't
our
know that was
newest
a thing.
product. So GAF put literally billions of dollars
Right.
into this. And when Tesla was putting theirs out, GAF was working on theirs.
That's amazing.
Tesla pulled back
Hmm.
because Tesla's an energy company.
Yeah.
It is not a roofing company.
Right.
So in practical application, those shingles didn't work that well.
Right.
So GAF put the money in and they made a very workable shingle, durable, and it can be installed by roofers, which
Okay.
that's the biggest difference. You don't have to have a solar expert to install them. Now
Right.
you have to have the electrical contractor, and we work with GAF Energy to do the electrical side.
What's that look like? Like, is it like a big shiny roof because it's
So
that type of material, or
it wouldn't be what you would picture. So the Tesla shingles really looked like a tile roof or something to that effect. You can still tell there's solar on the roof. It's not the entire roof. So you have shingles around the outside and
Just
there's
certain
areas
sections.
laid out, but it's very low profile. It lays right with the shingles. It has a very high wind rating. And it's just another option. We can still do rack mounted systems.
I just think they look so tacky, and like to have the shingle would look totally different.
It's a much sleeker look.
Yeah.
If you're living in an HOA, which a lot of people do these days, it's going to be the more appealing look for your home over a rack mounted system, especially if your home's oriented where the sunny side of the house is facing the street.
Hmm.
You lose all your curb appeal if you've
Yeah.
got a big solar system on the front of your house.
Absolutely.
I don't like the big giant solar panels
Yeah,
up
they're
there.
ugly.
I think like that would be amazing to me. Like,
Yeah.
just a full roof of nothing but solar cell
Well, that's what he was
shingles.
saying, that it's just little sections that are the solar parts,
So-
and then all around it is the regular shingles.
Right.
you
So it
still
all
have
kind of
the-
blends in with the
Okay.
shingles. You can do as much as you want, but it still has to be
Whole roof.
bordered in shingles. But here's the beauty of that is the other thing you're taking away with those is the rack mounted systems. The biggest complaint you hear is, oh, my roof leaks because I've got
Yeah,
these
you got
anchors
holes in
through
there.
there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have that anymore.
Right.
These things are installed just like shingles. So
Nice.
it's shot in with a nail gun and they're overlapped.
Right.
So you lose all that worry of, well, if I put this on my roof, am I going to
Right.
A, destroy my roof warranty?
Right.
Or B, is it going to leak? Well, we're the roofers. We give the warranty, so you don't lose any warranty because it's a GAF product. It can be warranted with the roof for 25 years on labor and workmanship
That is
with
so cool.
everything else.
I had no idea that was even a thing. That's awesome.
It's pretty new. We've only installed one so far in the Orlando area, but we're excited about it.
Pretty neat.
That's awesome. You got
and I
pictures?
know-
Hey, do you have pictures of that you can share? I would love to see it.
I can. I
Yeah.
can bring them with me.
No. Like I want to see it. Like throw them on Facebook or something later, and we'll add them to the page and everything. But I want to see what it looks like just
I'll
for
shoot
our
you
house.
So
I'll shoot
Reagan,
you a brochure.
I know that you were just off, and we're
Hey, can you hear?
involved in the Barndo world, and Cesar was just saying that there's shingles that are solar, and I really think that with the barndominium like communities, that's the objective, is to kind of use solar to
Yeah.
almost be off the grid a little bit type of thing. But he's going to post some pictures. But
Innovative,
the
yeah.
actual shingles are
Actually,
solar.
I was kind of I was kind of actually blessed and honored to be in a room with Cesar when those solar shingles were actually
You're blessed to be on this podcast
Yeah.
with Cesar right now. Let's not get it twisted. buddy.
No, but Reagan was there when they were released, and
when they were
you know,
released, right?
the
That's so cool.
the funny thing is, with the barndominiums, as soon as I saw his first ad come
Yeah,
out, I
absolutely.
immediately called him with like 15 items of feedback of how I thought that we could really even make this more awesome.
Absolutely.
I won't tell you my secrets, but those things are going to be a showcase for all kinds of amazing products.
Absolutely. Without,
exciting,
without even fail, those things are going to be selling like hotcakes.
Oh yeah.
Just the square footage pricing on them alone, it's a third of what it. Yeah, it's a third of regular houses, and you can customize it. You can make it anything you want.
Hey, we're here to talk about Cesar. We're here to talk about Cesar, not Barn.
Well, we were talking about so we were talking about the new product that GAF has, the solar cell shingles.
So Cesar, let me ask you a question. Because it's a metal roof, right? What about the penetration of the solar on a metal? Like, how does that work?
So here's another thing I can offer is they make clip systems for the rack mounts for metal roofs that are hurricane rated that never put a penetration through your roof. So I have pretty much a solution for everything. I have a solution for tile roofs. I have a solution for metal roofs. And then if you have a shingle roof, you can either go with the old school racks and roll the dice and see if it leaks.
I think we need to change your name from the Rooftop Killer to the Rooftop Professor. You know what I mean?
Somebody taught me a long time ago that knowledge was power and that you should always be a student no matter where you are in life. And I took that to heart.
I tell my kids that.
So whatever business I'm in, whatever I'm doing, I try to do continued education.
Always learn, right?
Constantly. Always be a student, then you become a resource and an asset to the people around you. They'll consider you the expert, but always consider yourself a student.
Yeah, absolutely. Without fail. So, I mean, we've covered that's some innovative stuff, right? And that's where I was going to take this, like, down the road of innovation,
So I want to make the announcement that I was telling you about when I came in here.
Yeah, I've got it written down.
Suncoast Roofing and Solar just got awarded the 3-star President's Club Award. It is the highest honor that you can get from GAF Roofing. There's a list of 22 companies, 22 roofing companies in the entire United States that have made this. And we are 3 of the companies on that list because we have 3 branches that were awarded this. So we're going to actually have a press release and GAF's coming out to the branches, but it's a huge deal to be among the 22 best roofing companies in the United States, not in Florida.
Right, in the entire country.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Sure. Absolutely. I mean, we all, like, I know a lot of us, we all see the work and the amount of time he puts in. So, I'm not going to say I'm surprised that you want it because you know what I mean? Like I see you all the time, you're always out there. You're making it known. Like you're bringing to light, you're teaching everybody who Suncoast Roofing is, what they do. So let me ask you this. What advice would you give to a homeowner that's, on the fence about a new roof or, so maybe somebody that's getting ready to buy a house that needs a new roof? Like what kind of advice would you give to somebody like that?
First, get an inspection on the roof. If you're getting ready to buy a house, have a licensed roofing contractor come out and do the inspection. Not always is the home inspector going to give you the best advice. Right. He may be better at electrical and plumbing, and roofing's on the back burner.
I've seen him stand in the little hole with the flashlight and go like this instead of actually get up there and check.
Right. So most companies will do a free evaluation anyway. Suncoast Roofing will come out and do a free estimate.
There you go.
That estimate's going to be also an evaluation of your roof to tell you the condition of the roof. So now I've given you a secret. Call me up, say you want a roof quote. You're going to get an evaluation, even if you're just buying the home and you just need the evaluation.
When you're done, I'll explain my experience that I had with you when you came to my house. It was amazing. But please continue.
So that would be number 1. Number 2, find a brand that you trust and go to their website and find their preferred installers. So if it's GAF Roofing, they have Master Elite contractors. Those are above and beyond everybody else. They're the best of the best. You can go right to their website and find out who is a Master Elite installer in your area. Get your quotes from the people that the manufacturers trust to install their products. Right. If it's Owens Corning, whichever one that you prefer, get their best installers to quote your roof. Do not go and look for Chuck in a truck because I think it might be a good deal. because your cheap roof up front will be more expensive in the long run than your
Yes.
expensive roof up front.
Setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah,
or something like
it
that.
costs a lot more money to fix the mistakes than it does to do it right the first time.
Right.
So, all these resources are out there online. You can get all this information. If you know you're looking to get a roof, get somebody out there that knows what they're looking at, a licensed roofing contractor. Go to the websites of the manufacturers, the shingles, and see who they recommend to install those shingles. If you do those two things, you should end up with a handful of contractors. You can get your quotes from them and then decide who you like, who showed up on time, who gave you the information that you needed,
Right.
and who made themselves available when you had questions afterwards.
Absolutely.
And then you should easily be able to decide who you trust to put the cover on the most important thing you have, and that's the roof that covers your family.
Absolutely, man.
Yep.
That's sound advice.
So
Sound advice.
we had bought a house. We were concerned about some things that we saw visually on the top of the roof and called Cesar. He came over and it was almost instantaneous. You were there, if not the same day, the next day. I don't really remember, but very quick. And when you guys got there, you literally had pictures of my roof, and I don't even know how you got it. Drone, I have no clue how you got it, but it was a printout. So they had done their due diligence for my roof before we even told them or showed them anything. They came with a whole pamphlet full of pictures of my roof. And then you came in, went upstairs, climbed around in the roof. It was
Cesar went up in the attic, and then we went and had lunch, and
I disappeared for 20 minutes.
took pictures.
came back. He still wasn't done up there.
Yep, took pictures while he was in the attic. I mean, like the thoroughness and the customer service, and we're friends. You didn't have to go over and above, but you did anyway, and that I'll never forget it. So thank you for that. And our roof ended up being fine.
Yeah.
And
well, that's a big thing too, is somebody coming out and telling you the truth. If you don't need a roof, you don't need a roof.
Yes.
And I'm not going to try to sell you a roof.
Yeah.
Because we were ready. We were like, all right,
what's going to happen?
We need a new roof. Let's go. And then you're like, no, you don't need a new roof.
You don't need a new
fine.
roof. And I get more business by being honest with people. It might not be this year or even 2 years from now.
Right.
Yeah, when I need one, you're coming back.
Yeah, but they'll tell their neighbors.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hey, this guy came over and he was honest, and he said we don't need a roof right now. So he'll probably be honest with you. Why don't you give him a call? And yes, that's good for business, but it's also how I sleep at night, because I know that I'm giving people the right advice and I'm being honest with them and I'm treating them fair.
Absolutely.
That's big.
Reagan, do you have any questions or anything?
I do have a question for you. When it's time for you to get a metal roof on your beautiful Craftsman style house, are you going dimensional shingle or are you going metal?
Me?
Well, what would the Webbers have a Craftsman style house?
No, I'm definitely not going to do a metal roof.
No.
And I want to ask Cesar, what is the benefit, Cesar, between the metal and the dimensional shingle for the people out there that don't know it? And Chris, I'm also curious as a homeowner why you don't want to go metal. So whoever wants to take that question first.
I just think they're ugly.
Well, all right. So let me take this
Agreed.
on, because the answer may surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
Because we're master elite contractors, you're getting a 50-year shingle now, and you're getting 25 years on labor and workmanship.
Nice.
There's no metal roof that will offer you that length on labor and workmanship, unless it's through the installer. But do you know if that company's going to be around in 10 years?
Right.
So GAF roofing has been around for over 100 years. They're going to back your roof for 25 years for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's Florida. Nothing's going to last 50 years. So
yeah, ain't that the
50-year shingle, that's great. But we all know we live in Florida. But you know for a fact you're going to get 25 years because it's in writing and it's guaranteed.
Right.
Now, with the metal roof, you get 40 years on anti-fading paint that's going to stay the same color and all of that. Mm-hmm. In reality, in the hurricane area that we've been working for the past 3 months, the metal roofs did fantastic. That is the truth. They are great for wind ratings, all of that. My shingle roofs, and I installed the metal and I installed the shingle. My shingle roofs did just as well. On Sanibel Island, I had one that lost 5 shingles. And that's on Sanibel that got really smashed. So when we hadn't seen these new shingles be tested by those kind of wind speeds before, I braced. I hoped our roofs would do really well.
Right.
Didn't really know. They did extremely well. And the people that took the warranty, that was covered because there's no limit on wind speed.
Nice.
Once you take that warranty. So when their neighbors are calling and filing huge insurance claims,
right,
the lady next door that we did her roof, we're just coming out and putting the 15 shingles back.
Yeah.
Telling her to have a nice day, and she didn't even have to file a claim.
That's amazing.
In my book, I'm going to go, excuse me, I'm going to go with shingles when I redo my roof because I know the service that I get through GAF. You think metal roofs are ugly? I think metal roofs are beautiful. So, I mean,
on my house, like I would be like, no, like maybe on like a standalone like farmhouse.
I love them on the beach. I love them in the country.
Right.
They look kind of weird here in Trinity because there's one and then there's not another one around for a little while.
Right. You stand out like a big old sore thumb.
Reagan, what's your question?
So here's my question. So Cesar, so second house I built in my lifetime was 2008, my personal home. Okay. And back then it was a 30-year dimensional shingle roof. Okay. I was only there 14 years. So there's plenty of life left on that roof. But the person that was going to buy my house, they almost made her get a new roof. So she was one of the good stories because she wound up getting through and didn't have to get it because after they did the inspection, they saw that, I took care of the roof and it was the granules were still there. But why is that? Like, why will insurance companies, if there's 35 years on a roof and it's 14 years late, there's 14 years left, why will they not insure? Like, what makes them not insure it?
Because we live in Florida, unfortunately. Florida has more litigation cases for homeowners insurance claims than anywhere else in the country by 3 or 5 times. It's something crazy. And insurance companies are pulling out of Florida left and right.
We were just talking about that, Kayla and I on our.
So the only way that they had left to protect themselves was, well, at 15 years, everybody's going to replace their roof. I don't care what. Now, obviously, this is not set in stone. This is what we're dealing with right now. Both sides are lobbying each other because what's the point of selling 30-year shingles, 50-year shingles if we're forced, and nowhere else in the country are you forced to do this. Right. It's just Florida that's having this problem.
I love hurricanes.
So it doesn't matter if you have like an inspection saying you have 10 years left on the roof, they're still going to give you trouble.
It depends on your insurance company. They could still have the right to drop you.
Right. Wow.
That's a shame because even like you said, like, we're promoting a 50-year roof and so forth and so on, which is fantastic if you're living in the house for that long. But who knows? You go to sell your house and then the insurance company's like, there's not enough life left in it. That's insane. That's unfortunate.
Well, it is. And in late 2021, early 2022, I replaced more roofs that did not need to be replaced than I'd ever seen before.
Wow.
And it was people that were forced to, and the roofs look great. I mean, it broke my heart to have to tear those roofs open. There was really nothing wrong with them.
And you wonder why our insurance rates are through the roof.
Well, that's part of it for sure.
Yep. Unreal. That's awesome. All right, Cesar. So we know roofs, aka Rooftop Killer, aka now possibly
and working out
professor, possibly the professor, which I'm digging, by the way. Professor Rooftop Killer. We could even add to it. It's okay. So, what is your take on the importance on your community work and how that's helped you? Because I just want to stress the importance of, listen, when it's coming from the marketing guy, it's all right, whatever. But when it's coming from a person that's gone through it all from start to finish, I kind of wanted to see your take on it from your whole journey of getting into the roofing industry, getting your name out there, what you did, the initiatives you took to get yourself viral, to get yourself have a million views on videos. Like, take people on that journey.
So first off, I think that being a part of your community and being an asset to your community, doing community service, helping at public events, serving on a Rotary, or I'm on the board of a couple different nonprofits. I just think that's important, period. I live here, so whatever I can do to make my community better, whether it's working with the recovery community, whether it's working with the prevention community, helping with the homeless coalition, any of those things, that's something that's in my heart. I want to make the place I live better. And that just translates to, if you do good, you receive good. Right. I really believe that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as branding myself, when I met Reagan, I was in the insulation industry, and I worked for somebody, and everybody that I met, Reagan, all the people I met, they thought that I owned this company. Well, wherever I work, I brand myself. And unfortunately for the places I work, I brand myself first, but I brand myself with that company.
Right.
And excuse me, I think it's super important, because if you treat it like it's your own, and you work like that's your company, and you represent it like that's your company, then people gravitate to that, and they see that you have that care. Mm-hmm. So with social media, I mean, Reagan, I learned from you. I had some social media presence coming into this. I learned more video tricks from you, things like that. And I try to keep my face out there, and I try to brand everything I do. So Rooftop Killer was just an idea. It was started off with taking rooftop selfies. He probably won't see it, but shout out to Jason Green. He's a roofer that started taking these rooftop selfies way up on these high flat buildings. And I called him when I got into the roofing industry. I was like, hey, can I use that hashtag? He was like, yeah, man. And I took my first picture. He goes, oh, man, you did it all wrong. I saw it on social media. You're squinting. You got to have your sunglasses on. Yeah. You got to make it look cool, man. You can't use it if you're going to make it look lame.
Right.
And I was like,
thanks, bro.
I'm sorry, oh mighty rooftop selfie guy. But, you know, I take tips from people. I say I'm always learning.
Constructive criticism.
I wasn't super comfortable on camera. I was comfortable on still photos. Mm-hmm. Reagan kind of preached about getting outside of your comfort zone and doing videos. So I started doing them. And, you know, now I'm on a podcast every week.
Right.
I publicly speak, and it all ties in together. So people see my branding. They know who I am. People see me physically in the community doing good for the community. And all of that is out there, and it comes to people recognize me.
Right.
So wherever I go, and it drives my wife crazy. We can't go to a restaurant without somebody going, hey, Cesar, how you doing? This, and she's like, literally, it doesn't matter where we go. We have to have 5 or 6 conversations with somebody. And I was like, remember, I've only lived here for 8 years. Mm-hmm. You know, I've spent my entire life in Tampa. So then clearly it works.
Right.
So people I don't know come up and say hi to me because they know me from social media. Mm-hmm.
I think there's an event that's coming up that you and your wife are involved in, the Pedal for Prevention. This is the 3rd annual.
Yes. So I sit on the board for the Alliance for Healthy Communities, and we're doing our 3rd annual Pedal for Prevention. It's in Starkey Park. Yep. We have guided tours through the park. You can do the dirt trails with your mountain bike, or you can take a nice leisurely ride on the paved trails. We have all these different vendors, and this helps for prevention in the community, and that's relapse prevention, that's drug and alcohol prevention to our youth and our teens. Right. You know, it's all these services, and this is a nonprofit. So if we don't do some type of fundraisers, we don't exist funds anymore.
Right.
It's definitely grown. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd year, and you know, we tried to be involved in it. Of course, it's right down the street from our house, but appreciate that.
So if you want, go ahead and give your podcast a shout out. You know, so, you know, if there's anybody out there that's listening that, you know, needs that type of message, you know, wants to learn what to look for.
So we have the Hope Shot is every Sunday night at 8 p.m. It's myself, Justin, a couple of our friends come on, and we talk openly and honestly about recovery, about what it's like being in recovery. We try to spread a message of hope and let people know that it really doesn't matter where you are now, that there's always hope, you know, and it may seem super dark to somebody that has no idea what recovery looks like, where they are, and there's no way out. So no matter what, even when I'm out of town, I log on, we get on there, and we'll get into the comments. If somebody's struggling with something, we talk about it. And this whole thing came out of stigma. There was people in the community that were bad-mouthing people in recovery, saying, oh, these people have records, they shouldn't be business owners, this and that. The best way you can combat that is just get louder with doing the right thing.
Yeah, just do good. Do more good than
you can't use my past against me if I freely share my past on the airwaves once a week, every week, and on social media, and on YouTube. So please, use my past for whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I use it every day to give somebody hope, to say, hey, look, man, this
Amen
is what
to
I
that.
came from.
Yeah.
And it's ugly where I came from, but it's beautiful where I stand right now.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Like
Yep.
without,
Make me emotional over here, Cesar.
I'm making myself emotional.
Tyler, man, you look like you're ready to speak up, bro. You're just staring into the mic. Did you blink? I don't even know.
No, I'm just in awe staring at Cesar.
I'm lucky. I get to sit right across from him.
Listen, Tyler, Friday is Deadlift Friday, and I cut the sleeves off your shirt, so I can't wait to flex in a young and hungry shirt.
There you go. Can't wait to see the video.
Hey, so do you guys have anything else for Cesar today?
No, honestly, Cesar, just tip of the hat of respect. You've come a long way. You've blazed a path for other people. You blazed a path for other people, and it's cool to watch. It's cool to see, and it's just you're leading. You're leading by example, man. And it's it. It's all I can do is give you respect. You've become your own teacher. You've become your own Jedi, and it's just awesome to watch. And it was cool to see that and almost kind of be a small part of it, man. But just to watch you do it on your own is awesome. And I'm honored, bro. I'm honored.
Or a Superman plug.
The what? The what?
There's always a Star Wars or a Superman plug in there.
I like that stuff, man.
I love it,
Lindsay,
man.
tell him to stop picking on me.
Well,
I
know that you don't
would
like it all
to
about
say,
you, Reagan, but you've been a good mentor, and you've been a good friend.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a good dude.
Thank you. I also would like to say Lindsay looks fantastic. By the way, Lindsay, I saw Lindsay yesterday.
We
She
were
looks
talking about it before the show. I couldn't let it go without giving a compliment.
Thank you so much. I
All
feel
right.
better.
Good.
All right, we're good.
Yep. All right, man. So we're going to wrap it up on that note. Cesar, thanks for coming in today.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Amazing information for
I made
anybody.
some pictures of some shingles.
Yes, I'm going to see those
You got it.
solar shingles. So let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. Anybody that's interested in anything roofing, or even if they want to talk about some other things like the hose shot and everything.
Inspections or
Yep. You
all the
can
above.
do everything online at www.suncoastroofing.com. It's our best resource. We have a fantastic website. You can go on there. You can look at all the different roofing types. You can schedule an estimate in your area. We cover almost the entire state of Florida. So if you're hearing this podcast somewhere in Florida, we can probably serve you. And that is the best way to get a hold of us. You can email from there. You can do a phone call from there. And really, it'll give you all the resources you need to help you make a decision for your roof.
Excellent.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks again, Cesar.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Till next week. See ya.
Bye.